Wellness Rhythm Show. Find your rhythm. Live your wellness.
Y'all, let me tell you something embarrassing. I spent 3 years convinced that if I just did more, I would feel better. More steps, more spin classes, more sweating. And I still felt puffy and sluggish and foggy most afternoons.
Right, and that's actually a surprisingly common experience. More volume, diminishing returns. What you were missing, Emma, might not have been effort at all. It might have been pattern.
Which is exactly what today is about. We're talking about your lymphatic system. And before anyone tunes out thinking this is some obscure biology lesson, hang on. This one genuinely changed how I think about movement.
It changed mine too, and I'm not easy to impress. Let's get into it.
So let's start with the basics, because honestly, I had to look this up myself. Most of us know about the circulatory system, right? Heart pumps blood, round and round. But the lymphatic system is this whole other network running alongside it. And nobody talks about it.
Right. Here's what I've learned. The lymphatic system is essentially your body's drainage and immune surveillance network. It's about 600 to 700 lymph nodes, connected by a vast network of vessels, transporting lymph fluid that carries immune cells, metabolic waste, and excess fluid from your tissues back towards your bloodstream.
And here's the critical difference that blew my mind. Your heart pumps blood. Nothing pumps lymph.
Exactly, there's no dedicated pump. Lymph moves through skeletal muscle contractions, breathing, and small, smooth muscle contractions in the vessel walls themselves, which means if you're sedentary, lymph essentially stagnates.
And stagnant lymph is not a small deal. We're talking about a system that clears cellular debris, filters pathogens, and transports immune cells to where they're needed. Dr. Gerald Lamole, a cardiothoracic surgeon and author of Lymph and Longevity, calls it the forgotten circulatory system for exactly this reason.
Brilliant point, Emma. And the research here is genuinely fascinating. A 2012 paper in the journal Immunity by researchers at the Weill Cornell Medical Center showed that lymphatic dysfunction is implicated in chronic inflammation, cardiovascular disease, and even metabolic syndrome. This isn't fringe biology anymore.
So this brings us to the movement piece, which is where things get interesting and a little counterintuitive. Because we're not talking about running a 10K, we're talking about patterns of movement.
Right, let's unpack that a bit. The lymphatic vessels have one-way valves similar to veins. They rely on intermittent pressure changes to push fluid forward. What drives those pressure changes most effectively is regular, varied muscular contractions throughout the day, not one sustained high-intensity session.
Which means the person who gets up, does an hour at the gym, then sits for 8 hours, might actually have worse lymphatic flow than someone who never sets foot in a gym but moves consistently throughout their day.
That is broadly what the evidence suggests. A 2019 review in the Journal of Physiology by Schmid-Schonbein and colleagues highlighted that prolonged sitting impairs peripheral lymphatic drainage significantly, regardless of exercise habits outside those sitting windows.
Y'all, that hit me hard. Because I was the gym at 6 a.m., sit at a desk until 7 p.m. person. Feeling virtuous and still feeling awful.
And to be fair, that hour of exercise is not worthless. It still drives significant lymphatic activity. The problem is the 8-hour gap that follows. The system essentially winds down.
So, what are the specific movement patterns that actually activate this system? Because I want to get practical here.
Good. So there are a few key mechanisms. First, deep diaphragmatic breathing. The thoracic duct, which is the main lymphatic trunk, runs right through the chest. Deep, belly-style breathing creates pressure changes that actively massage the duct and drive lymph upward. Dr. John Douillard, who writes extensively on Ayurvedic-informed physiology, has highlighted this, and it's supported by structural anatomy.
And this is when I actually tested. When I started doing 5 slow, deep breaths every hour, I felt less foggy by week 2. I know that sounds too simple, but here's the thing though. Simple is underrated.
Second mechanism, and this one's elegant, rebounding. Gentle jumping on a mini trampoline. NASA actually studied this in the 1980s, published in the Journal of Applied Physiology, because they needed to rehabilitate astronauts' lymphatic and cardiovascular systems efficiently after zero gravity. The vertical acceleration and deceleration opens and closes lymphatic valves rhythmically in a way that's hard to replicate otherwise.
Okay, so if you're listening and you're thinking, I'm not buying a mini trampoline, fair enough. But here's the accessible version. Calf raises, walking with arm swings, taking the stairs, even standing and doing ankle pumps while you're on a call.
Which leads to the third mechanism, intermittent movement snacks throughout the day. The research of Dr. Keith Diaz at Columbia University Irving Medical Center, published in the Annals of Internal Medicine in 2017, showed that 5 minutes of light walking every 30 minutes offset many of the metabolic harms of prolonged sitting. We can reasonably extrapolate that applies to lymphatic flow as well.
And this is where I want to acknowledge our sandwich generation listeners, because y'all are managing a lot. Aging parents, kids, jobs, all of it. A full gym session 5 days a week isn't always realistic, but movement snacks, those you can steal.
Now here's where I'll offer a bit of measured skepticism, because this wouldn't be us without it. Some wellness content around the lymphatic system veers into territory I find unsubstantiated. Specific juice cleanses, certain types of dry brushing presented as equivalent to exercise, or claims that you can detox the lymphatic system through a product.
Okay, yes, thank you for saying that. I went down a rabbit hole of lymphatic drainage massage claims, and some of it made my evidence radar go off.
Manual lymphatic drainage, specifically the Vodda technique developed by Dr. Emil Vodda in the 1930s, does have genuine clinical support, particularly for lymphedema and post-surgical recovery. That research is published and real. What's less established is the idea that a daily self-massage routine fundamentally transforms immune function in healthy individuals.
So the honest answer is movement is the most evidence-supported lever you have. The other stuff might be complementary, but it's not a replacement.
Correct. And while we're on nuance, hydration matters here too. Lymph is about 96% water. Chronic mild dehydration literally thickens the fluid and slows its movement. Dr. Stacy Sims, a hydration and exercise physiologist, has noted this in her work on women's physiology specifically.
Which is not drink more water and cure your immune system. It's just this system runs on fluid, so don't let yourself get chronically dehydrated. Context matter.
Right. Modest, evidence-grounded claim, not a silver bullet.
Hey, and while we're here, if this conversation is useful to you, please take a second and hit like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using. It genuinely helps us reach more people who are trying to navigate all this wellness noise, and it keeps us in your feed.
Appreciated. Every subscribe keeps us going.
So let's talk about who this really matters for across different life stages, because the stakes are different depending on where you are.
Good point. For our listeners in their 20s and 30s, this is mostly about prevention and energy optimization. Your lymphatic system is doing fine, but building movement pattern habits now pays dividends later.
For the sandwich generation, the 40 to 55 crowd, this is where it gets urgent. Higher stress loads, potentially more sedentary work, and immune resilience starting to shift. The consistent movement snacks framework fits this life stage really well.
And for our pre-retirees and active seniors, this is genuinely important research. Lymphatic flow naturally slows with age. A 2021 paper in Aging Cell by researchers at the University of Virginia found that aging significantly impairs lymphatic vessel contractility. That makes deliberate movement patterns, not just any exercise, increasingly critical.
Which means the advice to just stay active is too vague. It's about varied, distributed movement, not one big effort and then stillness.
Precisely. Pattern over volume, consistency over intensity.
Okay, so if you're taking one thing from today, here's mine. Stop thinking of movement as exercise you schedule, and instead think of it as a system you run throughout your day. 5 deep breaths, calf raises at your desk, a 5-minute walk after lunch. Your lymphatic system is quietly running your immune surveillance and clearing your cellular waste. Give it what it needs to actually work.
Right. Here's what I've learned from pulling this research together. The body's forgotten circulatory system rewards rhythm, not heroics. You don't need to do more. You need to do it more often. And possibly breathe properly, which, fair enough, most of us don't.
Y'all, thank you so much for spending this time with us. The Wellness Rhythm Show is all about cutting through the noise and giving you something you can actually use tomorrow morning. We'll be back soon with more.
Until next time, move a little, breathe properly, and don't let anyone sell you a lymphatic juice cleanse.
On that note, take care of yourselves. We mean it. This show is part of the VoxCrea.ai system. If you want a show like this for your organization without building it yourself,
go to voxcreel.ai and request a sample episode.